So for rational equations, the only thing that's, well, there's more than one thing that's different, but we have an equal sign now. And anytime you have two fractions and they're equal to each other, the easiest thing to do usually is to cross multiply. So that's why on these examples we're cross multiplying. So this is what I'm going to do. I'll take 11x plus 8 and multiply it by 1. Normally I wouldn't write this out, but I'm going to do it now just so you can see what's going on. 11x plus 8. And then I take 2x plus 5 and I multiply it by x. So x times 2x plus 5. I normally wouldn't write down this step. I would just do it in my head because it's fairly easy. And then I get, well, let's see, 11x plus 8 equals 2x squared plus 5x. So, something to notice that, like, now we have an equation and there's no fractions, so that's nice. However, I have an x squared. Do you guys remember solving x squared equations, what you do? Everything goes over to one side, 0 on the other. Yeah? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get everything over to one side, 0 on the other. I prefer to have the x squared be positive, so I'm going to leave the 2x squared, because that's already positive. I'm going to leave it on the right side. You don't have to do this, but I prefer to have it positive. So I'll just take an 8 and subtract it over. I have to do the opposite. It's plus 8, so I subtract 8. And there are no like terms on this side, so I can't really do anything but write it. And then also subtract 11x over to the other side. There are like terms for this one, right? Yeah. So what I actually have is, well, those go away. Those go away. So I have 0 on the left side and 2x squared minus 6x minus 8. So step 1 was to cross multiply. Step 2, get everything to one side because we have a quadratic. That's because we have a quadratic. And then our last step is a little bit involved, but it's to solve by factoring, if we can, or use quadratic formula. If we're going to solve it by factoring and we can divide by something to all terms, we should do that, because then it just makes the problems smaller. Right now, I would not be able to use the shortcut because I have a 2 in front. However, if I factored out a 2, now I can, right? Because now I have no coefficient there. Or a coefficient of 1, same thing. And then now I can use big X for this part. Did we just do this? No, we didn't. This could be, what, 4 and 1? Yeah. And it's a negative 4. So, 0 equals 2 times x minus 4 and x plus 1. What are my answers here?
4 and negative 1.
X equals 4 and x equals negative 1. We have the 0 on the left side, so if this piece was equal to 0, then our equation would work. Same with this piece. If it was equal to 0, our equation would work. So those are the answers there. And to check, we could just plug them in. I don't want to check right now. So the first step was cross multiply. That was easy, hopefully. The next step is to see if you have an x squared. If you have an x squared, get everything to one side. If you don't have an x squared, than just solve like normal, like a normal linear equation. And we'll get to that. But we have an x squared here, so we get everything to one side, 0 on the other. And then factor and solve. That's it.